Carol here, and World Card Making Day is coming up September 30th to October 2nd over on Catherine Pooler's site. If you haven't joined this worldwide site, it's amazing, and I am going to pull out all the stops for clean and simple cards all that week as a guest designer. I am thrilled. There are going to be many guest designers hosting in World Card Making Day on Catherine's site. And along with the wonderful design team members that are regularly there, you are not going to believe this wonderful week that Catherine has in store for us as card creators. And I just welcome you over there. And I'm going to show you a card that I created out of one of my favorite drinks, which is Coca-Cola. So I took the can out here and I cut it off. Now, you need to be careful because it is sharp at the beginning, but after you get your images cut out like I have here, you're going to use a micro brush and put glossy accents all around the edges and let it dry. And then you can move forward to make your wonderful creation. And I love this because it folds three-dimensional. I've been a member over on Stamp Nation now for near 4 years or more. And I have met some wonderful friends, and I was so thrilled and honored to be asked to be a guest design team member for this wonderful event, World Card Making Week. I mean, how exciting is it to have a dedicated time where throughout the world, all creative minds get together and display all their work and challenge one another, and we just have fun and we make new friends. I think it's wonderful. So I'll come back and talk more about that, but let's move on with this wonderful card. The first thing we're going to do here is die cut a lot of images that I'm going to use because I'm using my Big Shot Pro, the huge one. So I like to think ahead of time and cut out a lot of images for future cards I'm going to be using for this World Card Making Day. And one of them is the large tag. There's 2 in one set, and I will post this, the name of this, but you're going to need 4. And I used the Lawn Fawn Cloud die, which I love. And I haven't used it yet, which is shocking. You know, when you're asked to be a design team guest member, you pull out all the stops. You're getting down and deep into your supplies and finding all yumminess. So, as I said, you're going to cut out 4 of these flags because I'm representing Canada, my country, and I wanted to start out with a flag. And here you need 4 because I want to line them up. At the top of the deer that I die cut, I want to have clouds. So I want to use one of the tags, the identical tags, because it has the dotted feature on the edges. So I'm going to die cut that out, and that's going to go at the top of my second flag. Die cutting 4 of these flags will allow us to get perfect placement with whatever dies we're going to set on top, and I'll show you that in a minute. And another thing you're going to want to do, there's the clouds, and on each end of the cloud you'll see that the dotted lines match up perfectly because we cut it from a flag that we already pre-cut, right? And then we're going to do a hill on the bottom, and that's from Dynamics. And they have such a nice range of hills in their collection, and I'm going to use the one that is really, I think it has 4 curves in it. And then I'm going to put away this one die cut. Here's the dynamic one, and we'll take one out, and then we'll cut that for the deer to stand on the bottom. If you are new to Stamp Nation or you've never heard of Catherine Pooler's site Stamp Nation and you join up for the first time, please mention my name in the introductory when you do join, and I want to do something special for you. And besides just becoming friends over on Stamp Nation, where you will meet hundreds of wonderful card creators, I would like to do something special for you because you saw this video and you joined Catherine's site because of it. And I know you will be so encouraged and inspired, and can't say enough about it. So let's just do that for now, and I will watch for that when I look for new members there. So you can see that I cut out of the Coca-Cola tin 2 clouds up in the top, sitting on the clouds, a nice doe, and then a little baby deer, and now I've cut out this wonderful set. I don't even think I've used this either, if I recall. And what it does, it has a cluster of balloons that will actually all come out. The guts will all come out, so you could just use the outer. But it has a separate balloon, which I like. And I'm going to use that separate balloon coming out of the little fawn's mouth. I thought that would be very pretty. And this is not a complicated card. I'm going to show you how I set it up to make a flag folding card, where you have the 2 flags attached to one another, and then they open up in book form. So I think you'll really like that. And now I'm just looking at the placement on here, and then I'm going to build, yes, trying to get as much out of this Coca-Cola can as I can. And don't forget to take your glossy accents and a little micro brush and go over all the edges, let them dry. Don't heat set them, just let them dry overnight or whatever, and you won't have any cuts because of the tin. It just makes it nice and smooth. So here's how we have to cut this to make a card, an open fold card. So you're going to lay it out, and I'm going to need 1/4 inch on the top to fold down. So I'm going to score it with my Stampin' Up! Scoreboard at, I cut the one 1/4 inch longer. Now I'll score it, and I'll get my Teflon bone folder, love that thing, and score it so you don't get any shiny marks with this. Now I'm going to take out my 1/16 of an inch double-sided score tape to put on the end. And I'm going to situate this so that you can open and fold it. And you're also going to get a wonderful marking like the die cut in itself. This set has 4 different, one is X's, one is dots, one are lines on the slant, and one are lines on the opposite side slant. And here it's just the dots to match up with the tag. Look at that. And then I'm just going to erase the marks that I made when I penciled out where I wanted to put that little die there. And now we'll cut it. And you have an oversized tag die. Isn't that wonderful? I love this. This is a set that you should have in your arsenal of craft supplies because it doesn't die cut, it just makes the marks. Isn't that wonderful? And now I'm going to seat it on top of that 1/4 inch fold with 1/16 of an inch double-sided tape, and we're going to have a folding card, a book folding card. It's wonderful. And what's so awesome about this card is it's just the beginning of all the wonderful designers and the guest design team members that are coming on to inspire one another. They inspire me, and in turn, I would like to inspire them and you. And I am really looking forward to you going over to Catherine's site, stampnation.com, and joining. You will love it. You will make all kinds of new friends. And just put my name there that you saw this video and you joined, and we'll do something special together. Okay, so I'm taking this 1/16 of an inch, isn't it really skinny? And I am going to place my one flag down. And I'm going to take the little ends off. And now we need to put this section on because this section is shorter than the white piece here, remember? And then I'm going to move it over a bit so you don't see that tape towards the back when I put it down. And then I'm going to push the tape back a little bit because this, when you measure this, it's just a tad shorter on each end. So I'm just going to drag that little bit of tape on each side back on itself, cut it off so it's flat, and then I'm going to put my tags together. Wouldn't this make a wonderful Christmas card? Oh, with that red, that Tim Holtz berry red is just perfect with this Coca-Cola tin. And look at the way you get that dimension. All of the, I already went around the edges with glossy accents last night and let it dry, so none of the edges are sharp. And I'm putting these little wee glue dots, rolling them up and putting them in the right position. And stamp dimensionals stick beautifully on the tin. And you get it raised up, and then you can move the head up. You've got those antlers. See how I just pushed it forward? And then the little baby's looking at his mama, going to give her a little balloon. So I'm putting a dimensional there, and then I'm going to roll out the glue dots flat into a line and put them on the legs, and there you have it. I cut this little white tree also. Now, to keep this in the balloon, because the guts of that balloon is just a little wee, it doesn't quite fit, it's shorter. So I took some E6000 and took my my pen there, and I ran it around the outside edge with my finger, and it just caught on enough of the glue onto the outside so that the guts stuck on. And wonderful. Yes, the E6000, you're not going to lose it. Then I scrumpled up a little piece of the glue dot, and I'm putting it under the mouth, the little wee nose of the deer, and put the balloon underneath there. Oh yeah, it's staying there. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love it. Now, one thing I was working with here are putting all these balloons alongside the one balloon. I left one of the gut pieces in there, and all I did was take a double-sided piece of tape and cut the shape of the balloon, put it behind there so that it stuck to the outer portions and made the inside gut stick together too. You'll see that right here in a minute, how I just formed them upside down, grab a piece of double-sided tape, cut it around like a balloon, and then set it down, and it holds all of the pieces together. But I must say this, I take that off in a minute. I don't use it because there's too much going on the one outer third of my of this layout. Too much in that section. As I'm looking at it, it has to go. Yes, you want to make sure that it doesn't look like it's tipping on one side with too many elements. So you want to keep your, keep it even. And you'll see how I do that with each little die piece I use. So right now, yeah, I'm looking at it and I'm saying, okay, those balloons have to go. But first I have to put my little wee tree with my matte medium glue. It's so cute. I love this bottle. And it sits right down behind that little baby deer. And now we're going to, this is where I just stand back to take a look. And I thought I have to get some pine needles. And this is from Poppy Stamps. And I bought all of the different Christmas pine needle shapes for doing my Christmas cards. So these came in handy. Just took out this die of it's one continual pine needle, and you get the silver from the pop can, you get the black writing on the pop can, and you get the red and the black, which looks beautiful. And then I took my tweezers and lifted the legs up over top to hold it, because that Pepsi bottle is quite firm. Like, the tin is not really chintzy. It's a nice it's nice and firm. I really like it. And then I went to the die cutting machine and I took another one and I die cut it to go all the way around so that the baby deer wasn't standing in the air. Actually, it could have looked, I don't think that balloon could have lifted that deer up in the air. You always know when I'm editing late, don't you? So there it is. I die cut another piece of that beautiful fern out, and it cuts like butter. It comes out of that die so beautifully. And I was just so inspired by just doing a Canada card. That's where I started off with this one, but this isn't the one I use for Stamp Nation. You have to come on over and see it. So here I go. I hang on to it with my pokey tool and I gently release it from underneath, and then I take that glue dimensional off, and you never know it was there. Because now, doesn't that look better? Yes, because you want to have it balanced for sure. Now I open it up, and I'm going to use the stamp of approval, Happy Birthday to You sentiment. I love that, Catherine. Oh, I tell you, I love that font. I love everything about it. It was designed by Sugar Pea Designs, and look at that font. I love it, and it is perfect size for this style of card for the inside. So we're going to use these balloons, and I am going to set it there just off kind of 2/3 over, and we'll figure out the balloons. I want the balloons to look like they're being raised up with that other one right there. So right there is where that's going to stay. Then I'm going to take some baby powder and put it all over the card so I don't get any strays when I use my clear embossing powder. And this is my detail black ink, and I have it on an acrylic block, and there we go. Just this detail black is so black, I love it. So I get ready for my clear embossing powder and my Milwaukee heat tool, and we are going to heat set that. Isn't that gorgeous? Just lovely. Now this really looks good with having the balloons on the inside instead of everything on the outside of the card, right there. So when you close the card, you're going to see the little tips of the balloons there, and I'm going to put it down with those little round glue dots. And we're on our way, just about finished. I put a little glue dot underneath there, and I just think it's a wonderful Coca-Cola. Happy birthday, dear. Happy birthday, dear. Have a Coca-Cola. You couldn't get me any sweeter card for my birthday than a Coca-Cola dear card. That's awesome. So now we're going to move on because there's a hole in the bottom of the bucket, dear Liza. Oh, no, that's another song. Sorry. There's a hole in my flag there, so I covered it up with a gorgeous, gorgeous button. Just a clear crystal button there, and yeah, right at the end of the snow hill. Look at the dimension you're getting on this card. I'm telling you, it's wonderful. And now when I go to Michael's, I always look for their bridal envelopes. These sets will go on for $5 for people that ordered wedding cards and didn't pick them up, and they don't have any writing on them, and you get brand new thick envelopes. You won't even believe how beautiful these envelopes. You get it. These happen to be silver foiled, and you get everything like it was your orders, just missing a couple of cards. You can't beat that for $5. And I'm heat setting the happy birthday on the flap. Happy birthday to you. So it matches the card. Yes. Oh, that's gorgeous. I tell you what, that is a beautiful stamp of approval kit. I'm so glad I got it. And now we have the inside and the outside, the balloons. Oh yeah, this is wonderful. Now I wanted to add 2 balloons from the stamp of approval set that the happy birthday font came from. This is a gorgeous round balloon. I use my festive berries and I use my ripe persimmons, and I mix them together on the stamp, and I add a little bit of the ripe persimmon in the corner like a quarter moon, and I put it down and I hold it for a minute, and you can see that it is not a real crisp stamp, but this is exactly the way I want it, because I'll show you what I'm going to do. I do another one going in this direction. I like using these blocks that are They're an S-shaped block. If you ever find them, they're wonderful because you can turn your objects in different directions by just turning the acrylic block in different directions. I'll show you a video on that sometime. They are actually wonderful to have. Then I'm going to take some Copic multi-liner ink and some water, and I'm going to put it down on the balloon. This is going to make a beautiful shadow when I re-stamp it. Now watch. You have the Copic liner where the ink did not set. I'm going to grab that wonderful S-shaped acrylic block. It's very thin, and I can direct this with the lines perfectly. Yes, not even having to use my MISTI. That's a perfect stamp, and then the Copic multi-liner shines through, and it looks like you have that sun glistened elastic look on your balloon. Now let's take two colors, the Ripe Persimmon and the Festive Berries, join them together, ink to paper, and then we're going to cut out another die. It's a bow die actually. I'm going to put this little bow down in the bottom because these cards are going out with some little gifts for my appreciation for those that have joined up after seeing this video and then you left me a message. I want to thank Catherine and Maureen for all the work they do in preparation for making World Card Making Day so special, and for asking me to guest design. I was just over the moon when I got that email, and of course I said yes, I'd love to. It gives me an opportunity to make some clean and simple cards, and I wanted to begin this with my Coca-Cola birthday card. Leave me a message and tell me what you think, and I'd love to get to meet you. So take care, everybody. Have yourself a blessed week, and set your calendar September 30th to October the 2nd, World Card Making Day. We'll see you over there, Catherine.